Usually these things start off a little bit awkward because a lot of waiting to see if people are actually able to see the feed.
Yeah.
Okay, well, it looks like I'm there. Do we have anybody able to view the chat? Okay. So hello, folks. Is there anybody out there?
Hello, hello.
I see one person watching now. Well, I just want to see if it's working before we leave, before I turn the screen off.
Sure.
Okay, looks like there's a couple people tuning in. Folks, if you're one of the first in, would you mind just putting something in the chat box to the effect of "you can hear me"? Hi, Millerin. Was that a Deus Ex avatar?
Nice.
Looks like I can barely see it. Yeah, there's Chris Torrance. Yes, we can see. Okay, Mark, you say something, make sure they can hear you.
Hello, everyone.
Can you hear him? Okay, good. Excellent, folks. Well, as you can see, I am here with Mark of 6502 Workshop. We'll be talking about, I think it's safe to say, Mark, this is probably the best game to come out for the Apple II in at least the past 30 years. You think that's probably one of the only, but still, I mean, this is incredible. Here's what I got planned. I want to actually open this box. Somehow or another, I've managed to restrain myself. It's been difficult, but I wanted to wait for the video so we could unbox it together.
We get to do an unboxing as well today. That's
I don't know if it's ever been done, an unboxing video right in front of the person who basically did the thing.
Well, there's a couple of firsts in play here with all this. So
let me see if I can get my camera position here, folks. So this is the box copy, and I think you could still get these, right? Is there a way to get a box copy if you haven't gotten one through the...
Absolutely. Go to noxarchaist.com and click order the game, and we have Nox Archaist available as a digital edition, as well as a regular box set and collector's box set. We actually sold out of the first run of the box sets on the second day after release. So what we've got a pre-order going for a second production run that's expected to ship in February. So anyone who's interested in a box set, now's the time to get in on that. Make sure you get a copy reserved.
The plastic's coming off, Mark. This is a beautiful box. It looks about the same size as the gold box games. So, I might have to compare this later, but is this the exact shape of the gold box? Give me a second.
I think it's pretty close.
All right, so we can do this. I got full radiance here. Let's see. Oh, look at that.
Yeah, wow, almost spot on there.
Yeah, almost. It's a little bit heavy. I like it. You can tell there's more going on in this box than just a little, CD-ROM or something like that. I mean, there's some heft to this.
The goodies.
Yeah, it even feels good. I mean, I don't know if you saw the cover art on that. It really pops. Just love it. This is something I've always thought is just so depressing about modern games. I mean, we talk about how much better they are in so many ways, but just the art of packaging. The art of a good box and everything okay, Mark?
Is I frozen up there for a minute?
No, you look fine.
Oh, okay.
You got to order it with a box. So I thought maybe there was some strange comments or something. You never know with these Matt chatters. Okay, I'm going to open it now. Oh my goodness. What in the hell? Look at this. There's some kind of like wax seal on this thing. Whoa, your audience. And it's like from Lord British or something. There's even like a little, you have the sealing wax and the stamp and everything?
Yeah, we wanted to really go for a very authentic experience there. So
I guess I'm kind of afraid to break the seal on this. Oh, I'm going to do it. Is there a way to get this off without like ripping it? very carefully.
One person told me that they did find a way, but didn't tell me what it was. I don't know what exactly technique that he used.
I managed to do it with
Maybe
just a
hair
little
dryer.
bit. Oh, of course, and it's the writ of authority from the game. That's always clever when you can have the pack-ins that are relevant.
Yeah, and all of the feelies tie into the game storyline in some way, and that's a writ from Queen Isa, and gives the writ of authority gives the player leave to bear arms and travel freely throughout her realm.
Yep. Beautiful.
And you got to hang on to that too, because the guards check you.
Oh yeah, I've been there. Oh, and what is this? Oh, is this? Don't tell me it's a cloth map. Oh, it's not coming through real clear for some reason. I guess there must be some green on this. Let me stop my background for a second just so we can all see this. There we go. Okay. Isles of Winmar. Now, some of you folks probably remember getting Ultima games and enjoying these cloth maps. The only problem with doing this is I can't look at it myself. Yeah.
There you go. Have yourself a look there.
Amazing. I bet it was difficult. How difficult was it to find somebody to print this for you and do all this?
It was a challenge, and I was very fortunate to have a teammate that really just kind of took the lead in figuring out the physical packaging side of it. And there was a process of, since games are not distributed, of course, this way anymore, there isn't really a company out there that's like, hey, we make cloth maps. So it's really a process of finding companies.
Clothmaps.com.
Noclothmaps.com. So it was more a process of finding companies that worked in the materials that we needed that we could put our art on and etc. So like the game box, that's actually for board games, because that's still a fairly active thing with physical board games, and there's still an industry around that. So we just board game box, put our art around it. Cloth Map, it was a vendor that dealt in various types of fabrics for kind of more fashion related things, and we just needed to get a piece of cloth that was the right size, put our art on it, and here we have it. Bada boom, bada bing.
And let's continue our little quest. There's quite a bit of stuff packed into this box.
Yeah, there's more.
Like maybe a little sticker there. Temporary tattoo. Do you have a Nox Archaist tattoo?
I do not. And the stickers are while supplies last. That was kind of a bonus item we threw in some of the first boxes.
Oh, so this might be one of the only ones. Should have ordered. Well, then we have what is this, a postcard? You guys really went all out. Oh, that's cool. That's fun. This is fun. I don't want to spoil everything in here, but Okay, now this is, oh my God. Check these bad boys out. And these actually work, right?
Yeah, those actually work. On an original Apple II.
I probably shouldn't be putting these too close to magnets. How did you make these?
They might not work then. That's right.
How did you make this? Are there still companies making these discs, or do you have to copy them manually?
The last production run of 5 1/4-inch floppies was in the mid 1990s, and there is still some new old stock that's floating around from then. And the person that I found that was the supplier, for we bought thousands of discs. He had like a pallet full of them, and said he had got them like a decade ago as government surplus, and that the couple of companies that are actively selling them online, like there's floppydisc.com, they're selling them, that they got them the same way. It was all from government surplus. There's probably, unless somebody can track down like the original die, probably never going to be another run again.
Wow. And it's all mine. Even the little stickers on here are very well executed. It seems like there's a different sticker on each disc. Look at that one. See, like this one's a little different. I see a lot of companies would have wanted to skimp on this and just have like the same label on each disc.
No, we went with got some nice little icons to represent the town disc versus the underworld disc. Make it a little distinct. Is
it okay if I make a copy of these for my own personal backup?
Oh, of course. Yeah. We actually did not copy protect the discs. So it's easy to make backups.
Well, that'll make it easy for the crackers then.
Well, they won't even bother. There's nothing for them to do.
Here's a little notice, I guess, about what is this? I fixed a drive timing bug.
Yeah.
So you have to run into a little trouble.
This version you have there is actually a beta, and we still have some folks that wanted us to wait to ship their box sets until we were fully off of the beta release. So for people that did get the early shipment, and we figured you'd want the early shipment because I'm not aware of you having a physical Apple II hanging around there anywhere. It's actually a beta release on the floppy, so the little insert on there was just kind of asking people to try it out.
Right. Yeah, I need to get I feel bad now not having my Apple II. I got to get an Apple II set up. I got just about everything else but.
Yeah.
So
if you do get it set up, they should work fine. Our testing's been pretty solid on them so far.
My memory's not the best, but I don't remember these discs being this small.
No, that's
wow. You really have to have good eyes to see this.
USB drive. All the content in the digital edition is on the USB drive. So when somebody buys a box set, they get access to the digital edition as a download right away, instantly when they order. And then when the box set arrives, they have all the digital edition content there on that cute little floppy disk looking USB drive.
That's cool. Even had a little notch on the disc. Oh, and then I love these, the coins.
Coin of the realm.
Oh, this is so I'll level up and it'll start glowing, right? If I ask good enough questions.
It's very possible.
Wow, this is, I feel like a kid on Christmas. I feel like I'm opening up a Christmas gift early here. This is not like some cheap plastic token. This feels very solid to me. Is this? This couldn't have been cheap to make.
Yeah.
I want to say my coins. I think my coins ended up being like $10 a coin.
Yeah, it was it was definitely an item we invested in, and we thought that was an important one to do. And obviously, people are excited about the maps, but the coin was always a big part of some of the experiences like this. So.
I don't know what it is about coins, but I just really love the coins. I'll put this up on I got a special spot on my shelf just for game-related coins. Okay, but we're not done yet. We still have I'm not sure what. Is this just a little padding? What is this thing?
No, open that up. There's more.
Oh my. Oh, what do we have? There's a little ornament. What?
Gem of power.
Oh, you could wear this as a necklace size. So.
Yeah. So, and the gem and the coin, as well as the writ, those all tie into the game storyline. And these are all items that either your character has when you start or you find somewhere along the adventure.
Oh, that is. I'll let my wife see this. She'll probably abscond with it. She likes to make jewelry. And then, of course, the manual.
The manual with the Dennis LeBay digital painting on the cover.
There's that. You have the bigger version behind you, I see.
Yep, on the poster there. So, which also depicts a scene in the game, so you can kind of see what's waiting for you.
Not just for decoration. Like this. Oh, Yeah, what was old, what was once old is new again. That's sort of the theme of this whole experience, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Yeah, this is fantastic. This was I really wanted to have this as I was playing because I kept referring to the PDFs, but I think it'd be even better to have this sitting handy so I can refer to it because this is fairly authentic to the original experience, right? With
Mm-hmm.
the keyboard codes and of course the map. I'm almost thinking I'm going to have to get some more graph paper because I want to map out some of these dungeons in the towns, I think. So even with
Yeah.
this map, it doesn't mean you don't want to make some of your own maps.
Oh, exactly. Yeah. This is a game that was designed around players making maps of the game, and we do have some players that have already made maps that were involved in testing that are kind of gradually leaking them out for players that would really rather not do the mapping. But it is a map maker's paradise for somebody that likes that challenge, since it was designed for it to be done.
Bill G was asking, does the gym have a name? I think it does.
The gem has a name, but not one that can be revealed.
Ooh. Now let me load it up here and share the screen so we can be looking. Okay, does that work?
There you go. Yeah, I can. At least I can see it.
I need to reduce the volume on the game here. We'll see. Yeah, that would. Just hearing a voice would have been impressive back then. It's talking.
Yeah, this is the first commercial Apple II game to have crystal clear human voice coming out of it. And you're playing in an emulator, right?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it's actually not quite as clear on the emulator itself because emulators are they're doing their best to replicate the Apple II, but something like that human voice done in 5-bit pulse width modulation was something that was not really contemplated to even be possible in the original design. So it comes out actually clearer on the real Apple II hardware than it does in the emulator.
Well, let's see. Before we get into it, you had sent me some questions. How is it? I think the first one was how is the post release? I think it seems to be going pretty well as far as I can tell. I mean, I was reading some really glowing reviews of this. I think people are really excited. But what's the scoop, Mark?
Sure. Exactly. I mean, it has been going very well, and the vast majority of the feedback has been very positive. People seem to really be liking the game and appreciating the style and the depth and sort of the adherence to the old school principles and also some of the modern sensibilities that are reflected. The pop-up menus and full screen views and things like that. And I'm really thrilled about that. And it was certainly our hope that was going to be the case. But I had to wonder at one point because we had RPG Watch had us listed in their release announcements, and so we were getting a lot of people coming in to download the game from RPG Watch, and that's kind of getting to be more of a mainstream thing. So I was wondering if we were going to have a bunch of people jumping into our Discord who were expecting something a lot more modern in terms of the gameplay and kind of confused and wondering what's going on. But that didn't happen. That did not happen. It's really, like I said, vast majority very, very positive and really glad for the game for what it is.
That's incredible. I'm just thinking of my two favorite games of 2020. One was originally an Apple II game that has been updated for modern systems, and of course Wasteland 3. And you went the opposite direction. You're making something that is sort of old. You worded it so well. The old is new. Again.
Yep.
I'm just looking here at this is the Vice.
Yeah, the Vice article
yeah, they
that just
really
posted,
liked it.
this morning, a few hours ago.
Yeah, so some people probably don't know that you actually used the Apple II to make the game, right?
Yeah, that was what when I was emailing back and forth with the author of the Vice article. He had booted up the game, as I'd sent him a press copy, and he had booted up the game. And before he asked me some of his questions, and he was under the impression, understandably coming from his vantage point of being more modern gaming, he thought that we had made a game on the Mac and PC that was basically made to look retro, but fundamentally was a Mac and PC game. And I clarified that actually we developed this for the Apple II. It runs on a real Apple II, and even on the Mac and PC, that version is running with an Apple II emulator under the hood of a standalone application, to deliver the authentic Apple II experience without the hassle of having to set up an emulator. And that's very unique. And there's been a number of projects that have been modern platform games made to look retro, but this is really
a real deal.
Perhaps not the first, but certainly one of the first in the modern era to come out and do it on the original hardware.
Just the proof is right there behind you. I don't guess is there a way you can get a little closer to your system back there?
To the Apple II?
Yeah.
Sure.
A lot of you probably have Apple IIs. I hope you get this game and try it out. Sound is borked.
Yeah, this is an old CRT TV that I have connected to the Apple II, so I'm not sure video-wise how clear that's going to come through.
It's a little blurred, but I think I can see.
Yeah, we're at the game's main menu here, and we can go ahead and jump into the game.
I'd like to hear it say Nox Archaist.
Oh, sure, we can do that. Why don't we give that a whirl?
I feel like I'm in an episode of Computer Chronicles here.
There we go.
Nox Archaist.
That's great. Oh, man. You've talked to several, or you've shown this to several Apple II, like hardcore Apple II enthusiasts, I know. I said Lord British was part of this or involved in this or knows about it anyway, right? What is Lord British's connection?
All right. Oh, sorry, just getting repositioned here. Can you still hear me okay?
Yep, everything's good, thanks.
All right, awesome. Yeah, that was something that I was really thrilled about, and was Richard Garriott being so gracious as to grant us his permission for us to include Lord British as an NPC in the game, and that's been a lot of fun developing the character, and even in testing there were some testers that of course tried to go and kill Lord British, and I had put all this
did they learn anything from Ultima
around
Online?
him, and remembering some of the exploits that were used in the early games to get around it. Like in Ultima 3, it was like you get on a ship, on a frigate, and you can kill them with the cannons, that kind of thing. So I took steps to learn from those loopholes, and no tester was able to do it. Even one, we had a tester Discord going, and there was one tester who hacked the game to try to defeat Lord British. and was not able to do it. No, the
So
tester
you made it a challenge now.
the tester claims it was a draw though, because in the course of his hacking, he managed to give his character unlimited hit points. So Lord British was also not able to kill him. So he says it's a draw, but I don't know, maybe kind of like that Black Knight scene in Monty Python with well, let's just call it a draw. I don't know. But anyway, I took a video of that whole sequence and sent it over to Richard. I thought he would enjoy seeing that, and he got a smile from it.
I know this Dr. Cat. I sent Dr. Cat a message when I found his NPC.
Yeah, Dr.
Fun
Cat.
about Lord British, though, because of course, he did that with his friends. He put his friends into the game, and now you're putting him into the game. I'm not surprised that he was perfectly okay with that.
Yeah, he's a really nice guy and very, very, very generous.
Well, we get some requests to show the game. So, what do you recommend we start with? And obviously, I've been playing it for a while. Is there?
Sure. Well,
just jump into a new game, or
yeah, I'd say jump into a new game, and it doesn't take long to get past the starter area. And then, if anyone has any specific requests of what they'd like to see, we can certainly.
Oh, how serious is this?
What's that?
Is it going to wipe out my slave slots?
If this is the system that you're playing, the game that you already started, then if you press yes, that would wipe it out. If you make a copy of the Nox Archaist HDV file as a backup, then you could still go back to your old game.
Oh, that's a smart idea. Let me do that quick so I don't.
Yeah, there's 2 in-game save slots, but when playing in an emulator, if you just back up the Nox Archaist HDV file, you effectively have as many save or store points as you want.
Okay, I'm gonna make another copy because I got to a certain curly-headed NPC. I don't want to lose him. Sorry, just one more second, folks. Okay, boom, that is copied. Well, that's too hard so far. We don't have the fortune teller to deal with.
No, this is one kind of modern sensibility thing that we did here. While that was fun going through the fortune teller and all that back in the day. One thing I heard a lot from people when it came to playing classic RPGs as an adult was just because of time limits, it's just hard to invest 20 minutes in creating a character or however long it would take, or sometimes even creating a whole party. So as you saw from when you started a game before, this takes just a couple minutes to get through and you're up and running in the game.
Yeah, I've always liked it when you could just get in there and start killing rats.
And that's pretty much what you got, because the first mob is a rat. So you're probably 2 minutes from starting character creation to first rat killed.
It's probably not the most original, but I just love the dwarf. I stick with the dwarf.
Dwarf is always good.
Yeah, I feel like I'm probably closer to a dwarf than anything else. You are an adventurer trained under. Although I'm tall, I didn't realize I was tall until I played this game, Mark. That's good. Yeah, see, there's our writ of authority to investigate a strange new cult.
The same writ of authority you got in your box.
Sail for a nearby island. I was talking to some people. They were excited just by the the look of the fonts and the sort of color effects.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there's a word for that, right? The way the kind of colors bleed a little bit.
Yeah, it's like artifacting.
Artifacting. I haven't tried this yet. I was looking in the manual, and I guess there's some ways to switch it between like green screen, monochrome mode. And there's a couple different graphic styles.
Yeah, there's a couple, and even the font itself. There's 2 different fonts that can be used.
A little bit of music. Are you hearing the music? I can't tell.
I can hear it.
I hope it's not too loud. Let me open up into tutorial. I'm just going to start playing this. You just tell me what you want to tell me when you want to tell me.
Sure. Well,
getting to fight the rats. I think this is a record for rats.
The famous Matt Barton kills some rats. I think this is a really special moment for me and many here. I don't know if we've ever actually watched him kill rats.
This is legitimate Christmas here. Use arrow keys plus space bar to select the target. What if I die? What if the rats kill me? I can never live that down. Now this is fun because you switch into this tactical mode. Let's see, quick or tactical. Oh, like I'd want to rush through this. You kidding me? No, look at those suckers up there, man. I can see them. It's like they're taunting me up there.
They are.
Okay, I don't think there's really much to. I guess I can. Oh, I just need to get up there and kill them, right? Is there a?
Yeah, that's
should have a hunting knife. That's a
look at your inventory. You got a hunting knife.
Good tool.
And that'll be enough.
Close. I don't know. I know you made this game, Mark, but I've got a lot of experience killing rats, and I like to be ready for these suckers. Where are they going? Are they trying to get away from me? Get over here. There we go. Let's see. Left hand melee. You even knew I was left-handed. That's amazing. Cool. Glancing blow. Rat attacks. Rat shot hit. No damage. Oh no. See, I'm so excited.
Not damage. No way.
You know, I think it's going to kill me.
Nah, he'll be fine.
I got him.
No.
Oh, and I got a short sword. Okay, yeah. That was
And
see, I told you those were serious rats,
stick
man. They're
later.
carrying swords. These are like the rats of Nim over here.
Yeah. Yeah, occasionally animal mobs will drop items, and we set it up that way to thinking that, well, the player maybe just found them on the battlefield. It's a pretty uncommon occurrence. You just lucked out to have it happen there.
Yeah, the short sword, it weighs 3 pounds, and that's what the strength is for, so you can equip the items. If it's too heavy, you can't equip it.
Yeah, if you press enter, you should be able to equip the short sword because it's 3 additional weight, but then you're subtracting out the 1 weight from the hunting knife, so it's really only 2 more units of weight. And the ready equipment weight is showing in the, if you haven't seen it already, on the window on the right-hand side in the center always tells you the weight of the equipment that you have ready, so you can kind of see.
And okay, so I got that equipped, and I just escape out of that.
Yep, escape will press it out.
And then we can do some other things like sit in the chair, look at the table. You know, I've been searching everything. I haven't found anything except on bookshelves. Do you have like a search skill that I have to upgrade to be able to find more stuff?
There's no search skill, but there are items in more places on bookshelves. Sometimes in dressers. Chests are pretty much a sure thing.
Type in name, job, or any capitalized word he says to you. Now that's going to bring some nostalgia to people, I'm sure.
Yeah.
So you talk in the direction.
And one thing we changed from the Ultimate games, which really pioneered the style of conversation, is we capitalized the words that the NPC will respond to, so you don't have to play guess the noun.
Yeah, I appreciate that. And what is this thing at the bottom that says voice mode normal?
That's another innovation that we incorporated in, and there's 3 voice modes: normal, yell, and whisper. And NPCs might or might not react differently when you say something to them based on what voice mode that you use. Like, for example, if you're in a tavern talking to a pirate about the buried treasure, and you're talking in a very loud, yelling voice or even a normal tone of voice, he might not be wanting to be so chatty about that, but if you whisper to him, maybe he'll meet you out back to talk to you about it later, for example.
Oh. How do I switch the voice
It's another
modes?
dimension of puzzle mechanic.
What's the key for switching the voice mode?
Tab.
Tab, okay. Yell. Oh, look at that. I did not know that. Okay, that explains a lot. Now I got to go back and revisit some NPCs. Okay, so we can type in shipwrecked. The captain may have said something in his log about what happened. Always the captain's log. You swabby. So this is our first quest, right? We need to find this log book.
Yes.
Okay. And then to exit out of this, I can just say bye, right?
Yep. Or just hit enter. Enter's the equivalent of bye.
How do I get to the chest over there? Let's see. Walk next to the bookshelf in the corner. Then the chest by the pirate. Oh, okay.
Yeah. You can walk on the chair. That's how you get to the chest.
Search up. Who will pick the lock? Well, let me think about this. I guess Matt Chat will. Oh, no. I never was any good at picking locks. It's a lot harder than it looks on TV,
Well, you got it the second time.
Okay, got a little gold. And that is a bookshelf. Magic missile found. Now this is, it took me a little while to figure this magic out. So let me just tell you how I think it works, and you can confirm.
Sure.
So this is what I gather, is that we basically equip this.
Yep.
And tell it what slot we want to use. I told it 1. I think this one's already equipped, right? Put that on 0. So my understanding is anybody can cast these spells as long as you have enough
Correct.
intelligence, right, to cast it. So I can basically cast that already.
Yes. That's correct.
Wait, yeah, intelligence 8. And then they take a certain amount. How much? They take some mana to cast too, right? Is it 8 mana to cast it?
It does take mana to cast, and the exact amount to cast is in a chart in the manual. When you're in combat, you'll have a health bar and a mana bar as well to kind of give you an idea of how much do you have left. So I found it fairly effective for the most part when I'm playing. I don't have it memorized how many magic points each spell takes, and I just kind of go more by that mana bar. And if I've got a lot, then okay, well, I'm probably going to be able to cast something. It's the on the right hand
up there.
Yeah,
the purple bar up there.
On the left side, the green is the health.
So even though I am a fighter type, I've got 8 mana points.
Yes, and that's as you may have found is because Nox Archaist is a classless skill-based system. So every character starts out essentially on a level playing field with 8 strength, 8 intelligence, 8 dexterity. Magic points is always equal to your intelligence, so you get 8 magic points, and therefore can cast some basic spells, a basic healing spell, magic missile, a couple others. But then as you level up, you get the opportunity to upgrade your strength, dexterity, and intelligence, and that's when your decisions in character development are going to start to diverge into, are you going to go down a fighter path versus a mage path, or some kind of mixture? You can mix, basically any way you want. And then skills like melee skill, ranged weapon skill, lock picking skill, critical hit, dodge. There's a bunch of them. Many games that are skill based, you increase the skill by either using it or by visiting trainers and hiring the trainer.
Yeah, I found a trainer, a dwarf trainer, melee, little dwarven mine, I guess, a little dwarven city, and I think he let me train it 12 times.
Yeah, yep, that's.
But I wouldn't have to go to him. I could just use the skill to train it myself.
Yeah, you can do both. The way the game is basically designed, if you wanted to be a specialist, like a pure fighter specialist, the way you would do that is you would put all your upgrade points on strength when leveling up. the gods will ask you, what you want to do, and then you would use melee weapons, and the use of those melee weapons would increase your melee skill, and then you'd also visit the melee weapons trainer and train the skill, and that by doing both, the using of the skill and then the training of the skill, that's going to basically get you the maximum amount of ability in that skill.
Yeah, I like to work on my melee. Okay, I guess we satisfied this, and then there's a slash. Look at my current quest, and I think talk to Irene, the pub keeper in Everton, about the cult.
And that quest kind of springboards off of the introduction in the manual and the introductory text displayed after creating a character. There's some mentions of a cult and Irene, and that's the first thing that the player set up with to do.
I think you did a good job on this tutorial section. It's not too long, and it's not just pointing out obvious stuff, but
thank you.
Gets you going. Yeah, there's the first town. There's probably somebody dumb enough to get drowned.
Yeah, well, it's a learning experience, and something like swimming. The Ultimas on the Apple II didn't have swimming, so we thought that's a new mechanic. Let's just give people a little bit of a heads up.
Yeah, I was wondering if you expected, like, how many people playing this do you expect to be already familiar with like all the classic Ultimas versus just like kids or some people that never played those.
Yeah, it's turned out that I think the majority probably had some exposure to that, but we definitely have a fair number of players as well that are a bit younger, and they got into gaming maybe more in the mid '90s, and still arguably those are still classic games at that point, but not quite as far back as this, and those folks are having a good time too. So we've been real happy with that.
And like the Metallica versus the Black Sabbath. Led Zeppelin generation, right? Let's see, if you're looking for companions to join you. Yeah, this is another nice thing is you don't just have the one person, your character. You can have, I think, 6 people.
6, yeah, you can have 6.
Very generous, yeah.
And then in combat, there's also summoning spells where you can summon allies, various forms of undead or demons, or there's a number of different things. Storm Elemental, and then those become essentially additional party members in addition to the 6 for the duration of the battle.
That's Bridget.
Nice, so you found her.
Yeah, I need her. I found her. Yeah, I was not lasting too long just on my own. Yeah, Bridget, and then we can ask her about her job. I hope to go on great adventures someday. Well, I think I might be able to help you out with that. The wolves in the plains near Everton plague travelers. I've been hunting to practice my finding skills. I always bring plenty of food. Hint, hint,
Hey.
I just killed this great wolf, by the way, in my other game. That was exciting.
Oh, that's awesome.
I'll join you if you want.
Hey, Matt, it looks like we've got Al in the chat from Scald. Gotta give a shout out here to Al. Hey, Al.
Oh, is Al over there?
Us.
Can't stay for long, but I hope all you wonderful people have a great holiday season, and congrats again with a fantastic achievement.
Thank you. Appreciate that. I hope you have a good holiday too.
Oh. Yep, she's part of the party. And we can take a look at her stuff with the space bar. And I guess she's kind of a warrior too, right? But again, we could, depending on how we level her up, could you have more magic points or more lock picking?
She's kind of a blank slate. She's a level 1 character and basically has the same abilities as the character that you create. She's presented, her icon on the map is presented in the form of a warrior, but she can really be trained in any direction that you want. Which actually, I'm not sure if you discovered this, Matt, but if you press the equal sign, you can change the icon of your character on the map.
Wait, equal?
Yep.
Hmm.
6 different ones. If you keep pressing equal, you'll flip through 6 different ones.
Oh, yeah, I did not know that. Oh,
Yep.
that one looks pretty badass. Look at him.
And you can do that in combat as well. For each individual character, you can select a custom icon for them in combat.
This guy got some glow sticks. Is he on the... He's a raver. Oh, yeah, this is cool. You're a wizard. I kind of like this guy. Okay.
This is like the Carmen Majory character for that icon there. For those who are fans of Dragonlance.
What do you recommend I get starting out here? Let's stick it and prick it.
Well, let's see. You probably want to get either a short sword or a short bow for Bridget.
Because she just got that.
She just
knife.
has the hunting knife.
Well, you know, I did the sword on the other game, so we'll just
Yep.
give her this.
Go for
try
some
the short
balance.
bow.
That's a good play.
Let's do the short bow this time, just a little something different. I haven't really played around too much with the ranged attacks. Okay, I've already got one. No thanks. Stop wasting my time. Well, that's like those white magic vendors. Get out of my store. Do we need to get lockpicks or torches? Are we pretty good for now with those? Or
Yeah, if not sure how much gold you have. If you have a little extra gold, it's always a good idea to pick up some of those.
now she can switch between the short bow and the hunting knife once we get into combat, right?
That's correct.
Okay, is there anything else we need to do here in town? And these are just bedrooms.
Well,
right?
you could go talk to Irene. Have you done that yet?
Oh, that's right. We got to talk to.
The first quest.
Let's see. Every time I don't know what it is about me, but when I play a game like this, I have to go inside every little room, like search everything.
Oh yeah, nosing around and other NPC houses. That's kind of the standard thing.
And I think we can hit G. That'll tell us basically where we are, but we need to look at our map because this is not. It's not like an auto map or a big map screen or anything.
Yeah, it'll just basically tell you the name of the map that you're on. If you're making maps, that's a good way to label the maps. It's just off of the get location response.
Come on, Irene.
Yeah, she's wandering over there to chat with the innkeeper.
It's like when you go to a bar and it's so hard to get the bartender's attention. You know?
Yeah, very authentic.
I see a saucy woman behind the bar. Welcome to the Scuttlebutt, where we talk trash and take it out. Oh, how about a drink? I don't think she'll be too happy with me if I don't get the drink, right?
Yeah, that's a good call.
What would you like? A mug of ale? Buy a round for the house. No, I think we'll just stick with the mug. Okay, now we can talk to her. And let's see, what were we supposed to talk to her about? Cult. Uh-oh, I think we're probably spoiling the whole game for people, I know.
She's shaking you down.
Oh, another gold piece. Ah. I don't repeat gossip, so listen carefully. Yeah, this is the case. This is a game where you probably really want to have your old notepad handy.
Yeah, definitely.
You don't want to have to keep spending gold to repeat this message.
A binder, that's the way to go. The quest log is going to keep track of the individual quests, but it's not a quest journal. That's, really best to still be done the old-fashioned way.
Yeah, it seems to me that it'd be smart to write down all the words in capital letters. I have to. Okay, I'm gonna run out of gold just talking to her. Check with Bridget over by the. Oh, thank you. Bridget's right here. She's probably drunk. And then this character up here is a ranger. And the way she handles her crossbow, she appears very skilled in her craft. I think she's the one that tells us about our, the training system.
Mm-hmm. He's got some tips for new adventures.
Let's see, after buying some weapons and armor, make sure to stock up on dried meat at Jorbox Adventures Provisions to the south of here. Hunting. We could bother these people. An old sea dog. Looks like he spends hours sitting on a stool. I can tell you had some fun with these descriptions.
Oh yeah,
I was getting quite a kick out of the books I was finding.
I really enjoyed creating NPC dialogue, and one of my teammates helped out with a few of the NPCs and did a lot of writing in those silly books that you're finding, like or some of the names like
my mom is in a cult and
my mom's a cultist. How to make basilic stew or something. There's a bunch of them that you really enjoyed doing that.
I think I've explored everything I need to, right?
Yeah, the towns are big, so there's always more to find.
Guess we could use the bathroom while we're here.
The moon does not indicate a magic shop in this case.
We don't have to search these, do we?
No, that's optional.
I'd find a lot of crap in there.
Indeed.
I think we've popped. Do we need to buy more food?
Well, you've got 54. You'll be good for a while.
Yeah, I noticed it's not like the food ticking down every.
No, you
every
just
move.
you eat food when you camp, and that's how you heal. Is food restores your magic and your health. But you can't starve. If you get down to zero food, when the camping message will just say that you spend your time foraging for twigs and berries and go to bed hungry and unrested. So you're not going to do a very good job healing, but you're not technically starving.
Yeah, I think somebody wants to come to our party.
Some rabble rousers.
I remember this is a new game, not my old game. I don't want to show the quick just so we can show what that looks like.
Sure.
So this kind of reminded me of a fantasy, like the PHANTA.
Okay.
That was quick.
Yeah.
So that's good. If you get into those battles where it's going to be a pushover.
Exactly. That's what quick combat is there for when you from having fought the mobs before that you're going to win that battle. Then use quick combat. It's a quick way to get through it.
I know people are just looking at this map and like, oh man, I can't. I got to get into this. Oh, what do we have? Yeah, so this I noticed this warning sort of pops up every now and then when it's, might be a little too tough just to. I guess it's a disadvantage when you use the quick combat.
Yeah, exactly. The quick combat's AI is only so smart. It's 8 bits. So the outcome of quick combat, it's harder to win battles in quick combat than it is in tactical. And so as a result, we have that warning message there to give the player a little bit of a guidepost on, when it's a good idea to use quick combat and not, because otherwise it's just trial and error.
Yeah, there's a little bit of strategy here for sure. I always kind of debated, because if I move up, then they'll get a free swing on me.
Yeah, I wait for them to come down.
Yeah, so I just hit the space bar to pass. Meanwhile, Bridget over here, oh, she missed that time. Come on, Bridget. Don't do that to me. Oh, rabid dogs. Is this the end of Matt Barton already? No damage. Sometimes it says no damage. Is that just a really bad roll for them?
It means that just the damage versus armor calculation resulted in no damage. Because your armor is high enough that their damage roll just couldn't damage you. And I added that message there saying no damage basically just so that the player realizes that's what's going on, because it can happen in reverse too. If you're in a battle with mobs that are a lot more powerful than you, their armor can be high enough that your damage roll isn't going to do any damage.
No.
And then instead of sitting there just wondering if you're doing damage, that little text message there can be a good tip.
Mark, so she's got the short bow. Should I just continue to use the short bow even though this thing's right on top of her, or do I need to switch to a?
You can. Optionally, you could go into inventory and change the weapon. Some players do that. Personally, myself, I never like going into inventory and taking the time to do that, so I just kind of continue to use the range weapon even up close.
I just wanted to make sure there wasn't like an attack of
with the range
opportunity.
attack, so there is a price to be paid for that.
Oh, there is a price to be paid for that.
Yeah, it's an adjacent mob will get a saving throw to interfere with the range attack.
Well, thankfully they're missing. These dogs, they seem so mad. Yeah, I've been in battles like this, and I thought, oh, I got this. No problem. But then they just keep biting and biting and biting. It really is down to the dice.
Now, you could also cast a magic missile on them. That would be pretty effective.
Yeah, let's do that. Yeah, I think it might be time to take that.
Yeah.
Let's see, C for cast, and I'm pretty sure
it's slot 1. There you go.
Well, let's see, are they gonna? Now the whole party gets that XP of 7, or is it just the person who kills it?
It's pooled XP.
Okay.
Yep.
I remember some of these games, only the person that lands the killing blow gets the.
Exactly. And that's how I set it up originally, because that's how a lot of the games I played did it. And it didn't take me long doing my own testing before even getting others involved to realize that was just way too tedious. So I actually then went and changed it to be pooled XP.
I agree. I never quite understood that concept. I guess they don't want you to have freeloaders, free riders.
Yeah. That's I guess the theoretical downside, but I think it can be rationalized too. That it's like, well, okay, your lower level characters are going to learn something by being part of a battle with these higher level characters that are, doing their thing. So.
Well, now we could rest, I suppose. I think we should rest.
Yeah, the good camp might not be that.
H.
It's H. Hide and rest. We got several of these different custom graphic camping scenes. Depending on whether you're underground, on a ship, or on land, you get a different scene.
Yeah, that's a really nice animation and graphic there too. Even has a little. Was that a volcano in the background or some?
Like a mountain, and that's snow blowing off the mountain.
Snow drift.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, and actually, it looks like a couple of my development teammates are in the chat here, and in fact, I see Bill G. He's the guy that did the tile graphics and like those camping.
Good job, Bill.
And stuff too. So, thanks much, Bill. Thanks for joining.
And let's see to get us.
And Chris Torrance. Chris Torrance is in the chat. He did the work on the packaging, the box, and the map, and all the stuff we were looking at before. Thanks, Chris.
Yeah, notice, Chris, there's something there about Steam.
Yeah, we've been getting a lot of people asking us if we're going to have a release on Steam and on Good Old Games. And the good news is on Steam, the process has started. They have like a 30-day waiting period from when you submit the application. So it'll probably be late January by the time we get through all that. But it's in process. And I also submitted an application with Good Old Games. And not sure on that one. They do a lot more curating than Steam. So there's never a guarantee with Good Old Games, as you probably know. But we're trying. Which, incidentally, for anybody listening, if you wouldn't mind, Google GOG.com Nox Archaist and pull up the Nox Archaist wish list item on Good Old Games and vote for it. If you would do that, we'd really appreciate it, and I think that will help us get on that platform sooner.
Maybe we could show that process. What is it? GoodOldGames.com.
GOG.com.
Wish list.
Wish
Let me
list.
share the.
Nox Archaist wish list. Yeah.
Look, there's an advertisement for that other game.
Ah, yes, that other game. That's
This one, I think Nox Archaist has fewer bugs in it. Where's the wish list?
Yeah, I'm actually not sure how to get to it from the main page, but if you just go up to the oh, there it is. Midway down, it says wish list, or maybe that was for wish listing that game.
Community wish list.
And there should be maybe a search bar somewhere there.
Search. Yeah, where's the? How do I?
The easiest way
There we
might
go,
be
here we
just
go.
okay. Try that. Yeah. There we go.
Nox Archaist.
Or I think if just for the people watching, I think you just go to Google and type in GOG for Good Old Games, Nox Archaist wish list, those 3 words. I've gotten to it instantly just doing it in Google. But yeah, so there it is. We've got 130 votes, and if anyone doesn't mind hopping over there and popping another vote on, really appreciate it.
Yeah, we need to see this shoot up. Come on.
Yeah.
A lot of good comments too.
Yeah, I've been
Labor of love. Nah, I hate to break it to you. Mark just did this for the money. The fortune and fame. So what? I guess we probably look at quite a bit of gameplay here. Is there something else we should do before we? I kind of want to jump on the other character and show a certain NPC.
Well, yeah, no, I think you've been inside a town, talked to some people, you've done some combat.
Let's see. I don't know if I can get to him. You think I could get to the guy I'm talking about?
Yeah, you can, but I'd suggest camping and waiting till morning because there's a lot more mobs that come out at night. Which, if you're looking to grab some quick XP, that can be handy. But maybe just jump into the castle and use the wait command.
Oh, I would like to get enough XP to level up because I think that's pretty fun. I should be pretty close.
Yeah.
Let's see. I can get a list here. Oh no, he's got quite a ways to go.
Maybe 2/3 of the way to go there.
So what'd you say I could do? Jump in the castle?
Yeah, if you go in the castle and then just press W to wait, and then just do like 9 hours. We want to get past 5:30 a.m. when the sun rises.
Party sharpens weapons. Party meditates.
And the reason for this is that you can camp outside, but if there's mobs on the screen and you try to camp, it'll say there's danger nearby and won't let you do it.
Yeah, I ran into that. And there's another one of these guys. I guess if you insist, I'll stop and kill you. Those hooligans. Ooh, a staff. And a short sword. Whoa. Another game, I think I just found a broadsword +1.
Yeah. Sometimes the loot drops are really
you can tell it's a good game if you're excited about it.
Yeah. And those +1s, you can't buy those +1s anymore, so that's a big problem.
Oh, I didn't know that. I'm going to have to heal up Bridget a little bit, I think.
Yeah, you might want to maybe do a camp to heal here.
I think I should just
camp.
Or
you could cast the healing spell, whichever.
Because there is a chance I could get ambushed or something camping, right? Or is it just safe?
Actually, there isn't. I thought about doing that, but decided that was one of those mechanics that we could do without. It was maybe more realistic, but maybe wasn't all that fun kind of thing.
Now that I think about it, yeah, you're right.
Whenever it happened to me, it was always like I'm kind of in a hurry to get somewhere, and I'm just camping to heal up or whatever, and now I've got to go through a whole other tactical battle, which is pretty much always one that I know I'm going to win, and it just takes time to do it. So,
where the heck is this Nox Archaist? I've not been able to find him.
Yeah, he's around.
He's intentionally hard to find, or am I just?
Yeah, I wouldn't say that he's super hard to find, but the villager there was basically giving you a quest, and
Is he in the dungeon? Well, maybe that's too much of a spoiler.
yeah. If you
I've been all like
focused
Northwest.
on that quest, you would find him.
I really want to find a mage to join my ranks.
Yeah. And Nox Archaist is a mage, so that's definitely a. You want a mage focusing in on that quest and really carefully looking at what that villager says. He gives some clues about where the orcs are. That's really the next step if you wanted to pursue that.
That's the first quest I should do after this.
Yeah, that would be a good one.
Because he talked to Irene about the cult.
And,
So that
and
one-
it also says, and follow up on her insights. So you did the first part talking to Irene, and then the second part is to follow up on what she said.
And let's see, she wanted me to go to a smelly orc, I think.
Well, that was one of her wisecracks that she threw out about the smelling orc. Yeah.
I need to go back and, I guess, pay the gold again because I must have missed something.
Yeah, if you ask her about cult, she'll give you the spiel again.
Let's see, where is he? Am I in the right spot?
Now, this looks like the Margrave's house.
Yeah, this is not the right spot.
Yeah, I think if you head out the double doors there.
I noticed some of the doors are blue, red, and green. Does that have any?
Yeah, there is some color coding there. The orange are typically residential, greens are typically merchants, and blue is usually magic or some kind of VIP related person that's associated with it.
Okay, that's good to know. So those are just
We're
residences.
getting warmer here.
Ah, look at him.
There he is.
You see a tall man with long curly blonde hair and a long sword and drinking horn on his belt. He's
Boy, does that
extremely handsome. See, I don't want to yell at this.
Doesn't he do a show every couple of weeks that I tune into?
You're lucky. In all my travels, I've never heard. Oh, I got so excited I forgot to ask him his name. His name is Matt Varden. This is quite fun. What is his job? A connoisseur of weapons and a traveler of the realm. I visited most armories in Winmar. I don't know about this guy, Mark. He's kind of freaking me out a little bit. I've heard many rumors in my travels. Recently, I heard there's a treasure buried by pirates on an island to the west of Everton. Yes. Treasure. Supposedly, the pirates were never able to retrieve the treasure because a rat of unusual size now inhabits the island. So I'm going to need a ship, I suppose, to get to the island.
Yep.
Bring me the head of that rat to mount on my wall, and I'll reward you greatly. Oh, that's incredible. Are you having trouble finding the island? You'll need a frigate to traverse the rough seas off the coast of Everton. That is amazing.
I thought that quest would really be fitting for you.
Yes, perfect. Yeah, this character's got a lot to say here too.
Yeah.
I mean, look at this.
And considering how many games you played in real life, I thought your character should be the one that kind of has the skinny on where to find all the different weapons and armor throughout the in-game realm.
This is awesome. Yeah, but the gnomes, they got gnomes and dwarves and
Yeah, everybody shows up here.
He had some other weapons. Armories. Yeah, there we go. Bows. Okay. Yeah, Nairwood. I need to get there. I haven't been there yet.
Mm-hmm.
Nairwood is home to rangers with exceptional skill in crafting bows. So this is pretty clever too. I noticed that one of the towns had the best shields. Another one had the best melee weapons, I think.
Yeah, there's some specialization that goes on. And actually, this is kind of a well, maybe too much of a spoiler. I won't say any more than what I already did. There is some specialization.
Welcome to the Janelle's Gems. Oh, there we go. Now, you got a lot of cool people referenced in your game. What are these gemstones for? I don't think I must have missed this one before. So are these just for decoration, or what are they, magical?
They do have I'll say a minor purpose in the game.
Interesting.
And I'm not entirely sure if anyone is really well. There's a couple things you can do with them, and at least one of the things I don't think anyone has figured out yet.
Oh yeah, here's the spells. Oh, I wish I could do this fireball. I notice that's a +1 fireball. May I interest you in a toad snort portion? Kind of weird store is this? These mages. Intelligence. Yeah, so I have to have 26 intelligence to cast this. So that's probably going to be pretty far off.
Any self-respecting apothecary in Valley carries toad snort.
I think it'd be interesting to play the game as a mage. You get Bridget pretty quick, so you could have her be your front line, your tank, basically.
I've done that. Maybe taken my main character down the mage path. That's definitely a fun way to do it. Lots of ways to play the game, and that's definitely one of the fun ones.
There's some more meat. Okay, well, let's see what kind of questions we've got here. Has anybody had a chance to come up with some? Mirror image. Let's see, Adam Wilkins. What degree of reverse engineering of games from that era it took to replicate their characteristics? Was playing through the games, taking notes, and figuring them out a big part of the project?
Well, I would say that not really reverse engineering from a standpoint of like I've never done a full-blown disassembly on the code of games from the 80s. What I have done, though, is spent a lifetime playing 8-bit RPGs on the Apple II platform, Wizardry, Bard's Tale, Ultimas 1 through 5. 1 through 5 were on the Apple II, then 6 was over on IBM PC. I have probably over 1,000 hours in my life playing Ultima 3 alone. So wow. I've just been immersed in this kind of gameplay for so long, and I've wanted to make a game like this ever since I was a kid, playing the games and learning the program. So when it came down to sitting down to make this, I mean, I just had in my head things like I just knew that in Ultima 5, when NPCs would travel from their bed to their shop to the tavern to eat, that if you stood in front of them, they would not move around you, and they would just stand there until you starved to death, or that you could barricade them in, to the tavern when they're eating, and that they would then just magically appear where they were supposed to be when you walked off the screen. All those little details I just had in my head because I played the games, got bored playing the games to win, so then I would just do things to screw around like that and hassle NPCs and just really learn the ins and outs of them, and that helped a great deal as far as coming in to make Nox Archaist, and in this kind of style. I just was able to access kind of a mental database of mechanics and how they worked, and go through it from a best practices standpoint, and then also, from that foundation, find the opportunities to push beyond, and do things like the changing our own food mechanic, so that was maybe a little bit more friendly than the quest to stop from starving to death, or ambushes during camping. Do we really need that?
There's so many things about, I've talked to people who, for them, it has to, they even though they, I guess maybe were frustrated by that stuff back in the day, they still consider that part of, essential part of the experience. But, I just got to say, I don't see it that way. I'm like, it was kind of annoying.
Right.
I don't really see why we need to have the same thing,
Absolutely. And I want to emphasize too, it was all an exercise in standing on the shoulders of giants.
Mhm.
The Ultimas and the Bard's Tales, those games are all iterating from one to the next and becoming better and better. You don't know sometimes with a mechanic, is it going to be annoying until you find out, and
talk to
player
plenty
feedback.
of legacy developers, and they're like, yeah, well, I just did it that way because that's, I didn't think about it, or it's just sort of what I came up with. I wouldn't do it like that today.
Right.
Well, if you wouldn't do it like that today, why would somebody else feel like they're obligated to try to copy that mechanic exactly? No, I think you got a much better idea here to sort of take the fun factor, everything that was working well, keep that.
Right.
And the stuff that was annoying, see if you could find a way to innovate.
Keep what was fun, cut out what wasn't, and then try to add some more fun on top of that foundation. That was pretty much the formula.
Matter of fact, with this, I'm pretty sure there's a way we can call up the keywords or the key commands, right? What is the button to get the list of commands?
Question mark.
Question mark, yeah, of course. That makes sense.
And little things like this, I don't ever remember there being an in-game quick reference on keys in the games back in the day either. And this was the kind of thing that we just added in, trying to apply some modern sensibilities to it.
Yeah, I haven't tried digging ruins yet. Need a shovel for that, or is it just like a search?
A pickaxe.
Oh. A quick save, that's something you definitely didn't have.
Yeah.
Volume. I could probably use that volume command, like the quest log. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that I think works better in this game. And my guess is that there's the tab voice. I didn't even notice that.
Mm-hmm.
My guess is a lot of those folks doing the games back in the 80s would have done it this way, but it's just the idea hadn't come about yet.
Absolutely. The way we kind of described the mission for the project was to see what might have happened if Apple II development if RPGs had continued to be developed on the Apple II platform past the end of the 1980s. Because like you said, they would have eventually got here, but it's always a game of what's the low-hanging fruit. And there were innovations each time the different titles came out, and like you said, they just hadn't gotten here yet. And I think it eventually would have happened, because there's only so many more places to go within the confines of the 8-bit platform. So that's, and it was close.
Yeah, just sharing the manual, because one of the things I love about this manual, and I encourage everybody to do this if you're in a position if you're making a game, to have somewhere where you talk about the design, like your philosophy and why you did things a certain way. Because this is just, somebody that writes about the history of games. I love it when I can find something like this.
Sure.
Because, you may or may not have the opportunity to talk to the person, but something like this will give you some pretty good insights.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was fun to write that up, and glad I got it in there. At some point I hope to write a lot more of the Nox Archaist development story, but if that never happens, I can at least feel confident that this part at least is preserved.
I'm sure you're going to be getting some requests from some editors, I hope, to write some articles. And practical. Yeah, I mean, this is really, if you're the type of person that is into Apple II and programming and and what is it, even talking here about how the NPCs follow people around, pathfinding, I guess that's working their way around obstacles and things.
Yeah, getting NPCs from their bed to their shop to the place that they eat, that's the NPC pathfinding.
We also pushed the frontier on the sound within the game. Oh yeah, this is for Dr. Cat. I noticed he was an NPC as well. I've had him on the show.
Yes.
Back
Yeah, I think I saw that episode or two that you had with him. So.
And I think he's a cat. Actually, is a cat in this.
Yeah, he's a cat attending bar at one of the pubs.
Dr. Cat developed a prototype for 5-bit pulse width modulated PWM sound on the Apple II and published it in Soft Disk magazine. And that's when you're there's computer nerds, and then there are computer nerds. And by God, if you're developing a prototype for 5-bit pulse width modulated PWM sound on the Apple II and publishing it in Soft Disk magazine, you are the real deal.
that was the technique that we used to create the Nox Archaist voice at the beginning of the game. And that was a collaboration with Dr. Cat. He invented the technique in the 80s, and we talked at one point and agreed that it really needs to get into an actual Apple II game because it never worked out. By the time he had come up with it, Origin was basically done shipping Apple II games, so it never made it.
Oh, goodness, wow, he must have been so happy about this.
Yeah, he absolutely was. I absolutely was. And my teammates who worked on it were thrilled how it turned out as well.
Let's see, one of the more fun challenges was the projectile launcher subroutine, which powers many of the spell effects. Watch out for flying cows. Yeah, this is just incredible, Mark. I'm just completely floored by all this.
Thank you.
Are these the drawings? Wow. Yeah, there you are. So you can read all about the team. I think Chris is in here somewhere.
Yeah,
There's Chris. Yeah, Bill. Is Bill in here?
Yep, Bill's
Bill.
in there posing with the swords on the left.
Wow, see in Renaissance Festival garb there?
Yep, he went all out. Me, I just took a selfie at Kansas Fest and slapped it in here.
Well, he's doing graphics. He needs to have a good feel for the
he's
the weapons
definitely
in the armor. He did such a good job. This guy's apparently a bit of a pain. Lead. So, joking, or was there some kind of
joking.
Okay. You never know.
We have kind of an odd sense of humor, which you'll see reflected in the game in a variety of ways.
It's a good balance. It's hard to get that balance of, to have the inside jokes, the puns, and not take itself too seriously, but on the other hand, not just be a goofball.
Right.
Parody.
That is the key, and we took a lot of cues from Bard's Tale in that regard because they seem to really nail that balance where you could take it seriously as an RPG, but yet there was plenty of really fun humor in there, and so that was kind of where we took the cues from, and to resist the temptation to put in too much humor, we created a place called Castle Foolery. And that place is just one nonstop load of nonsense. I mean, you on second thought, don't go to Castle Foolery. It is a silly place. So we got it out of our system there so as to not unbalance the rest of the game.
That's a good idea. Well, let's see. We've covered pretty much everything. Well, we haven't really talked about the game reviews you got for Juiced and.
Yeah, we got a couple game reviews coming up.
Yes, I'm pretty sure they must have been thrilled by this.
Yeah, absolutely. The Juice GS review is coming out in their March issue, and that's actually a print magazine. It is the last running Apple II print magazine. It's been going since the sometime in the 80s, and so they've got a review coming out in March. And rumor has it Nox Archaist might actually be on the cover. We'll see.
Really? Wow.
That's the rumor. And then
how awesome would that be?
That's just like a pinnacle achievement for us to have the review, and especially if it works out in the other part as well. So that looks like you got the Juice.gs site up there for anybody who's not a subscriber that would like to be. That's where you go, Juice.gs. That's actually the URL and the name of the game, or not the name of the magazine.
It's just so cool. What do you think it is about the Apple II that just inspires such devotion?
Well, I think it's different things to different people. It's for many people, it's the computer that, like in my case, that I used growing up. That was the first introduction I ever had to computers. So I think there's a certain amount of attachment that comes from that. And computers changed so much, so drastically after that. I think it was easier to, kind of develop that, attachment. Whereas, nowadays I don't think the current generation is going to necessarily feel any particular connection to, the first computer, because it's now just such a blended iteration of things. But you look at what the Apple II is compared to, what there was in even the 90s or the early 2000s, night and day difference. But you go 10 years from now, I don't think the generation coming up 10 years from now is going to recognize, nearly as much difference. So I think that's just a lot of it. And there's certainly a lot of special things about the machine itself. Just the fact that it's the machine that, you can do powerful things with it, but yet at the same time, it's not so incomprehensibly large and robust that you can't make a game on it and not really understand everything that the software is doing. And that's just not the case on the modern computers. There's nobody that really understands how any of it works. It's very specialized and rolled up, and that's something that brings out creativity, where you can really feel like, hey, I understand what this environment is really doing.
Yeah, oddly enough, I have some friends that work on classic cars, and the way they talk about that just really sounds like what you're talking about.
Yeah.
They would so much rather work on an older car because it doesn't have the computers and the high-end electronics and stuff that they can't wrap their heads around. They want to work on they want to get up under the hood with a wrench and some screwdrivers, I guess, and go to town. They understand every part of the vehicle.
I think there's probably some similarity there, for sure.
And you've got on the notes here, a Steve Wozniak announcement. What is the
that was really thrilling. Just a couple of days ago. Steve Wozniak is a NPC in the game, as is Lord British, and we asked Steve Wozniak if he'd like to announce it himself on Twitter, and it was, I believe, Wednesday of last week. He sent out a tweet saying that a game has been released for the Apple II computer that he invented 40 years ago, and he is in an NPC in the game, Nox Archaist by 6502 Workshop, and we were just absolutely thrilled. For Apple II people, that's like getting a blessing from the Pope.
It's just so awesome. How do you feel looking at this?
Immensely honored and thrilled. Couldn't be happier.
148 retweets. It's just the love that people have in this community. Oh, didn't mean to show the questions. Okay. Okay, so let's see. We covered that. You got some recurring live streams.
Yeah. I want to give a shout out on that.
Yeah, let's make sure we give them a shout out. Yeah.
Definitely. And these are live streams that are streaming Nox Archaist from start to finish. These streamers are going through the game to the end until they win. It's not a one-off. And there's one running right now on Twitch by Lady Aileros.
I'm not sure how to spell that. Is
There you go. Yep.
this one?
Actually, I don't think that's quite it. I may need to spell it for you. It's
Lady.
oh, you've got it right there. Yeah, I think if you just pop that into Twitch, maybe search for it on Twitch or
Go.
there we go. Yeah, for the folks watching, if you actually go to twitch.com and then go into the search bar there, it's easier to get it that way. Lady AILUROS. And she just started the streams, well, the day after release. So she's still really close to the beginning of the game. And like I said, she's going to be playing through it to the end. And then we've also got another stream coming up on the Lost Sectors. They're going to start up streaming sometime in January and also plan on playing it through to the end.
This must be a lot of fun for you watching people play.
Absolutely. They're actually on YouTube.
Oh. So they haven't started
Lost
yet.
Sectors, they do kind of similar, some similarities in what you do, Matt, with playing old games and talking about them and things like that on kind of a regular basis. And then they usually have a game that they stream kind of in parallel with more of their discussions on particular games. And they did, like last year they had Deathlord. I don't know if you're familiar with Deathlord, but they were streaming Deathlord for like a year, going through it start to finish, just like they're about to do with Nox Archaist in January.
It's like a cool channel to me.
Absolutely. And you have friends in common. They were on DeFonte's channel not long ago. DeFonte did an interview with Matt and Chris at the Lost Sector shortly after the interview that they did with you, or that he did with you.
Okay, then let's take a look at the merch.
The merch.
So I'm here at 6502workshop.com page. And I guess we want to click on shop.
Yep. Merchandising. We're big fans of Spaceballs, so we went all out on the merchandising scene here. We've got Nox Archaist, the T-shirt. Nox Archaist,
two different t-shirts to choose
poster.
from.
Got Nox Archaist, the hat in there somewhere.
Man, this would be tough to choose. You know, I think this one's probably my favorite. I don't know, though. You know, the cool thing about this one is people might think you're like a heavy metal fan. Like, what's that band?
Yeah, you wouldn't want them to get that impression. It's not like you're wearing an Iron Maiden T-shirt or something.
Well, those are awesome. And then we got these frame posters.
Yeah.
Wow. Oh, and there's a hoodie. Yeah, there's the
All
hat.
kinds of goodies there, even
Beanie hat.
smartphone covers and backpacks.
So you could just order the map if you wanted. Oh, this is a good idea. Drawstring bag, like to keep your dice in.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have a graph paper? Like a pad of graph?
We have Nox Archaist, the Adventure Journal in the upper right there, the brown one, yep. In authentic basilisk hide.
Oh, this would be perfect for this. basilisk hide. That's great. Yeah.
Yeah, that's been a popular one. You know, good stocking stuff.
Oh, you need this. Yeah, you definitely need that. I'll have to order that. Wow, this is a lot of merch. Are you getting lots of orders?
Yeah, it's been rolling ever since we put the store up. Not that long ago, maybe November, last week in November. It's been very popular, and especially after release, coming up on Christmas time. You know, there's there's people that are buying Nox Archaist stuff for the whole family. I'm actually not kidding. It's a guy sent us a picture the other day of him and his 4 sons, and they all had Nox Archaist T-shirts on, holding up a couple collector's boxes, and they're just diving in over the holidays, going to try to get to the game.
I mean, I can easily see that. This doesn't really surprise me. I mean, if you're a big fan of the Apple II and you like Ultima computer role-playing games, I mean, this is the thing. This is like your dream come true here.
This is like a once in a lifetime potentially kind of event with a game like this. I mean, maybe we'll make more. We don't know. We'll see. Or maybe someone else will jump in the fun with making a game like this. But it's take the opportunity while it's here is, I think, what a lot of people are doing.
Fantastic job. I think even somebody that, I talk to people, maybe they're a little too young to have played Ultima, or the first few Ultimas on the Apple II. So this game would be a great way to sort of get a good feel for what that was like without having to.
It's a bit more approachable because we came into it
much more approachable.
Standing on the shoulders of giants with the perspective of more modern day gaming, we were able to make it more approachable with things like the tutorial, and the starting area is a bit nerfed, like when you're dealing with the rabble rousers, and it gets real pretty quick though. It's got the old school difficulty there if that's what you want. It just gives the player a little bit more time to kind of figure out the basic mechanics before feeding them to the
plenty of times, and it's the reboot.
Gotta know where the reboot key is.
Oh, there's a reboot key. I just
it's more of a button on the emulator, but
what's the button? I didn't even know that. I was just exiting it out and loading it back.
Well, it's a bit actually for in the Nox app. It's a reboot menu option. If you go to the upper left, if you hover the mouse in the upper left-hand corner, there's a hidden menu that'll pop out.
Oh, I did not even know that.
Option in there. So it tries so hard to be out of the way that you can miss it.
I'm glad we had this chat because I didn't know that. I think it's going to save me a lot of time because I'm probably going to die a bunch. Yeah, it's definitely not a walk in the park.
Yeah, it's definitely the old school difficulty and challenge is here for sure, and that seems to be what a lot of people want, because that's just not as that's not modern games. Modern games are more talk to the NPC with the question mark hovering over their head, and follow the dashed yellow line to where you're going, and everything along the way is going to be level scaled, so not really in all that much danger. And there are exceptions, with some games.
I remember the first time I think it was World of Warcraft that introduced that question mark over the people's heads.
Yeah,
I just thought, man, we have
fault.
Really just, wow, it's come to this.
Wow, literally.
Yeah. I'm just gonna see if we got any last questions here.
Yeah, I mean, the only step after that is press W to win, I think.
Some people probably want that. See, the soundtrack.
That's not going to work for us, because for us, W is the wait key. Sorry, the key's taken. That's just not going to work.
Yeah, that's the only reason.
Yeah, if it wasn't for that,
Was the soundtrack orchestrated on a native Apple II as well? It's a question from Robert.
Well, I'm sorry, what's the question?
He's asking about how the soundtrack was orchestrated.
Well, the in-game soundtrack, that's music that's played out of a Mockingboard, which is a sound card in the Apple II, or in the emulators. The emulators all emulate the Mockingboard. And in most cases, the original songs were developed by one of the development team members who is a musician, and he'd make like MIDI files that sound very modern, when you play them as a MIDI file. But then one of the sound experts on the team would take those MIDI files and translate them into a format that the Mockingboard would understand, and then he would hand me some data files. I would roll those up in the game engine so that they would load at the correct point in time, and then issue the commands to the Mockingboard driver to start playing the sound. that's kind of a 10,000 foot overview of how that process works. We also have a soundtrack that comes with the digital edition that's actually not played in game. It's an MP3 version of those original songs that the musician created, and they're designed to, like, you could put them on your iPhone or your iPad or some other device, and play them in the background while you're playing Nox Archaist. Like if you turn the in-game music off, you could alternatively listen to that MP3 soundtrack as well, just as an option.
Oh, sorry, I got distracted by a bag on your site. Welcome to Willie's. That's so much fun stuff.
Yeah, we had some fun with the Willies. The Willies is mentioned several times.
Oh yeah, shop at Willie's. Even the bad guys are shouting that out.
It was really a joke that came through the development of the game that made it into the game, and then when we launched the merch store last week in November, just really a few weeks ago, and it's like, okay, well, what are we going to call this? And it was just obvious. It's like, we are going to call this Willie's, and we'll have shop at Willie's at the top, just like the joke in the game. And
I mean, stuff like that just adds a lot of the developer's personality into the games. So much of that stuff gets lost when these huge teams and big sort of corporate driven games. You lose all that stuff and you just don't have the same. It's not the same to me. I'd rather have a game like this where I really got a good sense of the people that made it than the other way around.
Yeah, we had a lot of fun and tried to reflect that.
Yeah, that's what I mean. If you have fun making it, that comes across in the game, and it makes it more fun to play. At least in my humble opinion. Well, I think we've had a good chat here, Mark. Is there anything else that you wanted to cover that we haven't gotten to?
I don't think so. Other than I just wanted to say thank you to the backers of Nox Archaist and my development teammates, both of which were instrumental in making Nox Archaist the game that it is. Thanks so much, guys.
Yeah, we have a couple here in the chat, so thanks to everybody.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thanks to you, Mark. You make a lot of people happy this Christmas. Some good news for a change.
Well, you're welcome. Glad to be able to do it.
All right, well, I'm going to end it here. Thanks again, Mark. Thanks, everybody, for stopping by, asking questions, comments. Go get the game. It will eventually, I guess, be on pretty much everywhere, or Steam and GOG. But if you want it today, head to, make sure we get the website right.
NoxArchaist.com.
NoxArchaist.com. It's NoxArchaist.
Correct.
Okay.
You got it.
And definitely, I highly recommend that you do, because you will definitely have some fun with this. Even if you didn't play Ultima back in the day, never even touched an Apple II, give this game a go. I think you will enjoy it. Okay.
We're offline.
Yeah, I'm gonna stop it here again. I said I would stop it, but now I'm really gonna stop it. You get so many windows open sometimes. Okay.
Yeah, you're.
Thanks again.